And we get a little, here we go. Steelers, here we go. Pittsburgh's going to the Super Bowl. Here we go. Let's welcome Kendrell Bell.
Oh, let's go.
You're going to sign us. We'll see you there. And Payton Wilson. Yes. 2 linebackers. I'm going to sit right there. Yeah. Appreciate you. How you been? Where'd you come from?
Atlanta.
Okay. That's where you're at now? That's where you stay?
Yeah, North Atlanta.
I love it. We got some notes on these guys. We got 2 linebackers. Little old school, not old though. A little old school.
Oh.
Little old school and new school. And I gotta say, my brothers, I know for a fact they're in the stands. We got a picture signed, your rookie picture. We got a picture signed in my house. K Bell 97. I swear to God.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah,
where'd you get that signed at?
They would know. It might have been.
You say Benihana?
It might have been Benihana. You ever been to Benihana in Green Tree?
Yeah, absolutely.
When we were kids, you signed.
Okay, yeah. I was in there with Plaxico and Joy.
Yeah, you did a little event. Was it a little appearance there or something?
Not there. I think up the road.
Okay. Yeah, and then we caught them at Benihana, and he signed our picture. We had that picture at the house. So when I saw we were getting you on, I was fired up. I appreciate you coming on.
No problem at all.
Payton, obviously, we had Payton on. Payton's a teammate. Payton, thank you for coming on.
Yeah.
What kind of advice could you give Payton, right off the rip, as a rookie linebacker playing in Pittsburgh, the tradition of that?
No, I just asked him, I said, it wasn't hard as you thought it was when you're fast.
Yeah.
Yeah, so, that's about the extent of the conversation, but he's doing good. Like when you're fast, you can buy time.
He's fast.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and you, as a rookie, you speak by your play. Got to make plays, you know what I'm saying?
I like that. I mean, you obviously made plays. You were, defensive rookie of the year. Like, that had to have been crazy. Did you see yourself becoming, did you envision that, becoming yourself as a rookie of the year? Like, to come in and be a rookie of the year is crazy.
I didn't envision that, but I had a mentor, which is a good thing for players to have a mentor to bump things off of. And he said, listen, Bill, if you lose, it won't because you're tired. And he said, just play fast. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to go in there and talk. Just play fast, and that'll speak for you.
I love that. He plays fast. I'm not going to lie. He's sideline to sideline. He's fast. But, he has a bit of a crazy draft story, like how he got hurt and battled through adversity. I know you had some adversity in your career and some injuries you battled. But this man was told at the NFL Combine, you can correct me if I'm wrong, that he had no ACLs.
Yeah, I didn't even know that until I got to the Combine. So when you go to the Combine, you sit down at these tables and you go to different rooms and they kind of poke and prod at you. And then I went to the first room and they were like, yeah, this guy doesn't have an ACL. And I was like, who are y'all talking about? I'm all good. But now that's what they said. And then, by the grace of God, I ended up here. I don't think I would have ended up here if I wouldn't have heard that. So, it all worked out in the end.
Like, I already, mentioned playing in Pittsburgh as a linebacker. I feel like every kid growing up playing linebacker wants to play in Pittsburgh. Like, it's just known as hard-nosed football. So when you got that call on draft day, what was that like? And who gave you that call?
I talked to Kevin Colbert and then Coach Coward.
Oh, wow.
And I was at home with my parents, and I thought I was going to go in the first because I had a lot of calls. But after the first win, I just went to sleep. Yeah, I just went to sleep. I was like, this is nerve-wracking. It was just nerve-wracking. And got the call, and then I was like, oh, man, I got to play now. You know what I mean? So that's why I said to Payton, hey, it wasn't hard as you thought it was if you're fast. You know what I mean? So, but yeah.
How different is that from what you see now in this generation of, you watch the screens and you see everybody with their phones. It's a big party. Like, is there similarities you guys had at that time, or is it, a different,
It's totally different. It's social media, everything, everybody's entrepreneurs and all that stuff. We didn't have a lot of distraction. There's a lot of pressure on players now. Right. Everybody criticizes everything that you do. Before it was somebody you bump into, they criticize you, but, that weighs on players, but you got to fight through that. You know what I'm saying? You got to shut that out and everything. You got to get tunnel vision And I think for obviously Payton has done a great job of doing that to be able to perform like he has. But I think players need to take note on that and moving forward if they want to be successful.
You talked about like social media, and obviously it wasn't around when you were
Right.
maybe starting. I can't remember the years, but it might have not been around when you were coming in. And like, what was that like? Were you hearing things from scouts calling what phone were they calling? Like how were you hearing things of when you were going to be drafted or
agent, your agent or your college coach? Pretty much that was it. That was the extent of it when you getting. If we're talking about being drafted and everything, criticism was just in the paper.
Wow. Now criticisms on Twitter, TikTok,
Everywhere.
Instagram.
Yeah.
Like they got. I feel like sometimes I get confused because, I'll pop on Twitter, scrolling through, and like I'll see the tight version of the film that only we get. Like
Right.
it's from the eye in the sky that we get. How the hell are they getting that? You know what I'm saying, on Twitter? Like they got the tight version. People are drawing things up like they know. I'm like,
Yeah. I mean, everybody's trying to get in where they can fit in, get some money with it. You know what I mean? So you get criticized so much more, but that's why as a player you got to keep building. You got to keep building. There's a misconception. A lot of guys probably, Payton, you probably thought it's also you get to the NFL, you think you're gonna get developed. No, you don't get developed. You get a playbook, and you got to learn it. What's next man up? So if I had to tell players coming in, man, you got to keep building. Don't be satisfied. Like, yeah, you made it to the NFL. That was so much pressure, and I'm pretty sure you experienced it. I got to get in the NFL. And you figured out, hey, I can play. So what's the next step? A lot of times guys get comfortable, but you got to set a bar high. I want to go to the Hall of Fame. You got to start thinking like that, and it's a lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? A lot of guys, including myself, didn't think like that. I was happy I was performing. I enjoyed football. I love lifting weights, and I got to see it on the field. But, I remember telling player personnel at the Steelers at the time, Anthony Griggs, man, if I can make 4 years, I'm good. And, man, why did I say that? It's almost like it did, right? I set the bar low. So the sky's the limit. And also in Pittsburgh, I can't speak for a lot of other clubs, the fans are – it's really the purpose why, the Steelers are here. Like, you got to play for these fans. You got to inspire. You got an opportunity to inspire these fans. I was at the airport, and it was like I never left. And I was like, oh, man, it's crazy. So so as a player, if you need motivation, just know, like I said, that Benny Hunters. And look at you now. And there's so many kids that you can inspire in different ways in life they can go with it. So it's important that I'm telling you, man, you can make Hall of Fame. You got to, with a little luck and just plan it out, man. Sleep. You know what I'm saying? Take it easy on the sugar, alcohol. Y'all still got Mondays off? You still get Mondays off?
All right, it's a victory.
All right, run that out on Tuesday. Go get you a lazy mile to run all that out. I'm telling you, man, it adds up. Get treatment. That you get constantly bumped in the shoulder and stuff. Get treatment. Don't be a tough guy.
I want to talk about that too, like the treatment that we have now in the building and all the resources that we have now to us. Like, how different was that back in 2001 when
Man, we didn't have it.
Were you on?
I didn't even know what a chiropractor was.
Cold tub. You were just.
You know what I mean? I thought it was a chiropractor. I'm like, what is that? Cold. It was cold and hot tub. That was it, really. And if you got hurt enough, you had to get stim or ultrasound. That was it. You know what I mean? So now what the kids have, what the players have now, man,
got recovery.
There's no reason. Yeah. You know what I mean? I'm serious. And even with, say Payton's ACL, Hines didn't have an ACL.
Yeah.
Tell somebody told him. You know what I mean? So it's stuff like that. You got to be careful what information comes in your head. You know what I'm saying?
100%. Payton, I want to touch on your, you both were former athletes coming up before you excelled in football. Payton, you were a wrestler. We just had Zach was a wrestler. I read up on you that you played basketball, track and field. What's been the impact of wrestling and playing another sport? Because I feel like a lot of kids now want to just play one sport.
I also played lacrosse too. So I think it just develops athleticism altogether. Just becoming an athlete. Like if you're 12, 13 years old, I don't think you need to be specifying in a specific sport because really you don't know what you're going to be great at.
Right.
You might grow 2 more feet or get way bigger. I mean, just playing so many different sports in high school. I wrestled when I was growing up playing basketball, lacrosse. It helped me with football, especially wrestling. I think wrestling is one of the greatest sports in the world.
What did you grow up playing baseball? Because your brother, I got a chance to meet your brother, this offseason. His brother's in the MLB, pitches for the White Sox, but did you grow up playing baseball, or was he just,
Yeah, I mean, my parents tried, but I was like the kid in the outfield spinning in circles, chewing on my glove, So they had to put me in a contact sport, so that's how I picked up lacrosse.
Makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But just to kind of like piggyback off of that, I feel like a lot of kids have the dream of playing in the NFL, but they don't realize how much work it is to get to the NFL. So can you guys talk a little bit about how hard it is and how much work you personally put in to get where you are now?
Wait, and I want to add to that too,
Age
because
before beauty. So.
yeah, I want to add to that because you were a JUCO product.
Yeah.
And these JUCO rules have changed drastically. So like, we'll touch on that second. I'm giving you a loaded question because I'm fired up. But like, talk about the work that's gone in, and then we'll get into the JUCO stuff. I just got fired up there. My fault.
Guy loves a good journey.
I spent my summers. Like I said, I had a mentor, Jim Marcellus. He played for the Kansas City Chiefs. He was my JUCO coach. And my summers were spent running in South Georgia, 110 degrees on side of the road. He would have me run 6 miles just, you know what I mean? Like I had to do that for the first 3 weeks. I would have to run 6 miles every other day. And then I would cut that down to a mile, had to get the mile under 7 minutes. And then after 3 weeks of that, I would have to run the mile in the morning and run quarters in the evening and try to get the quarter under a minute. That was my summers.
So I think, you know how like when we talk about old school and new school, like
I'm sorry, that's some old school.
Yeah, like I think that's why everybody like when they played back in the day, they were a little tougher. Like we have all these trainers now, they're like this big optimal crew. When football is a hard sport, like he was doing hard stuff, and now it's more like so tailored to like we got stuff that tracks how fast the bar moves. I mean, these guys were just out there running as hard and as fast and as lifting as much as they could.
That's insane.
Yeah, it's a different sport in the last, even 15, 20 years. I mean, based off social media, based off like not just the analytics or whatever, but the way that people receive the sport, watching the draft, like what that has become over the last decade, it's not the same thing. So, you two being in the same room, that's something that, is special because, playing linebacker for the Pittsburgh Steelers is something that puts you in a rare category just to begin with. So, but when you look at the difference of what the playing style was like for each of you, it's like you almost played 2 different sports.
Yeah,
So,
it was a heavy run when I played, man. We had Corey Dillon. I don't know why he's not in Hall of Fame. That dude was a beast. Corey Dillon, Jamal Lewis, Eddie George. We had the bus. So it was week in, week out. Fred Taylor. All these guys, I'm talking about Hall of Famers. And if you just think about it, you're running the ball, it was like maybe 60-40. It was tough. It was tough, and it was real physical and everything. So it's a little hybrid now, but football is football at the end of the day. And at some point, it'll flip where they start to get heavy run again. So.
What are your thoughts on like the targeting calls? Because there were no rules.
Yeah, it was no rules.
You were killing people out there.
I had to laugh at that. I was like the biggest hater. What? You can't hit people? That's flag football. But I get it now. I got a son that plays football, so I'm like, yeah, and I get it. It grew on me, and it's to keep players safe at the end of the day. But guys, defensive players, we flexible.
Yeah, it makes defense a little hard. We deal with
the best of them. So, and like I said, it's a gift to be out there. You got so much opportunity. It's worth it. It's just worth it. So much things that you can experience, that you can inspire people. It's just so much. So.
So I want to hear like, you're tackling now, and you have to tackle a certain way, so you're not head to head, helmet to helmet. Like, I want to hear the differences in like how you were tackling and what you learned growing up, and then how you were just running through people.
Yeah.
Literally, like, did you?
I didn't have to think.
They didn't care. They just said
Yeah,
tackle.
I didn't have to think. Yeah.
Well, I mean, like when I was in high school and stuff, that's when it started.
Georgia player right here, another Georgia guy.
With,
Go ahead, P.
When I was in high school, that's when it started, you know? So, like, growing up, we were just hit him. Like, just hit him however. And, I mean, it is tough, but, like, at the end of the day, ball is ball. Like, you're going to make a tackle how you make a tackle. Like, yeah, like, if someone's catching the ball out the middle, you don't want to come across and hit him like Ryan Clark used to. Like,
oh my God.
You'll get put in jail for something like that nowadays. But, I mean, you have to play ball. I mean, you have to hit how you got to hit. Sometimes your head's there.
How would you have fared in today's game playing how you played? You would have lost your whole game check.
I would have adjusted.
You
I would have adjusted. Yeah, I know. It'd have been hard. It'd been a hard adjustment. But, yeah, you know, just like, you know, we used to take guys out. You know what I mean? You guys can't do that now. You know what I mean? So I remember them getting on the Saints, but everybody was doing it. You know what I mean? Everybody was doing it. But
hey, they were getting paid.
Yeah, you know, there were no rules in place at that, and we're trying to win games. And but luckily they cleaned it up, and like defensive players, we were flexible. I would have fared well, you know. I just, you know.
So I want to talk about rookies going into their first training camp. So the story with yourself, you could confirm if it's true or not. You popped Jerome Bettis one of your first plays, and then for yourself, and I want you two to both speak on this. But what was it like? You know, you're getting to watch, you know, backers versus running backs. You're getting to see Patrick Queen and Najee Harris go at it. Like, what is that feeling like going into training camp? Probably got a little bit of nerves, and then you're just seeing people get lit up. You're lighting people up. I'm sure you lit someone up. So, like, what is that feeling, and when do you get those jitters out?
For me, like, how many weeks of training camp you guys had?
We were, 3.
Okay, mine was 6. So
Latrobe.
Yeah, Latrobe.
We were in Latrobe for 6 weeks.
Did you have air conditioning at that time?
Huh?
Did you have air conditioning when you got there?
I don't remember it.
Oh my God. I didn't have air conditioning.
Yeah,
What do we do?
It was warm.
This guy took a massage chair.
Nah, man. But no, I remember the practices, man. We was rough. We used to have live goal line every, I think probably every other day. But I remember seeing Jerome. Jerome's a big guy, and I'm sitting here like, so we hitting now? See, that's another thing. As a rookie, you gotta learn how to practice. And I'll say this before I talk about training camp. So when they brought us into mini camp, and you know, some of the vets were there. In I remember our first practice. They was like, all right, we're about to go run some plays, and I'm sitting here like, okay, line up. Next thing I know, hike the ball. I get the guard at the time. He's a 10-year vet. I don't remember his name. Man, he just dropped me. And we have shells on. We don't have shoulder pads, helmets, and shells. And I'm sitting here like, okay. And he did it again. So Tim Lewis, the DC at the time, was like, hey, don't retaliate. Just remember that. So I'm saying like, whoa. So I asked Aaron Smith. I said, hey, he's supposed to be doing that? And he said, Rook, we live. I said, okay. So after that, I just forget the play. 3 plays, I was just killing this guy. Bam. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, now
and you know, so guys got to learn how to practice. You know what I mean? So fast forward to training camp, we're on goal line, and Jerome was back there. And I was nervous. I was like, man, this is a big dude. And I'm like, man, nah, I ain't no punk. I said, I'm going to have to go out like this. I ain't going out like that. I'm going to come this way. I'm going to drop him. And that happened.
Did you let him know about it?
Nah, Joy did. Yeah, Joy Porter did. You know what I'm saying? You know, because it's Jerome and, you know, the money, man. You know, so I'm sitting here like, did I do something wrong?
Yeah.
You know, and Coach Kyle was stoked. Everybody was stoked. I said, okay, good job. You know.
Joey let him know though?
Yeah, Joey, yeah.
Why am I not surprised about that? No one's surprised about that. The way NFL players practice is a real thing. Like, I feel like we're gonna go through that in these next 6 weeks that we're in OTAs, because that's a big thing, especially when like the rookies come in. And I'm not like saying bad things about the rookies, but like they're trying to impress. They're trying to, you know, they want to practice hard, and it's a real thing because vets will, like, you might piss off a vet practicing too hard. Not practicing too hard, but practicing.
Yeah, no, you're going hard. Yeah, I used to try to light up Alan Faneca all the time, and he used to get pissed off at me.
Oh, boy.
But at that time, I kind of established myself.
Yeah.
So he would give me his best, I give my best, and I'm like, oh, okay, I'm good. You know, that's just what it is. You know, you're going to get that, but your play has to speak for you, like I said. You know, you don't want to come in loud and none of that. Normally, them guys selling wolf tickets, and they barking like that. And I just played fast all the time.
You think, I mean, you have JUCO to Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
Georgia players, you know, I feel like are infamous for playing fast. Like, everybody from Georgia, like, I feel like I think of a Georgia player fast. Like, was that like a culture set at Georgia that's been true since whenever you were there till now? Or is that like, what kind of makes Georgia football so good?
It's a lot of schools. I think, you know, Georgia has a huge pool of players, a huge. I take my son back-to-back state champions. His quarterback going to Miami. 2 of our receivers at Georgia. He's at Arkansas.
Your son's at Arkansas?
Braden Jacobs played with him. He's at Clemson.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
This is all at the same high school.
TJ Lester, he was our running back. Go look up some Milton film, man. You won't be disappointed.
Your son, where's your son?
He's at University of Arkansas.
What position?
Yeah, defensive end. Yeah, so.
Do you pull out the old film of you? Does he know?
I got some film right here. He's okay. He's okay. He listens to half of what I say. So,
Okay.
you know, but it's a lot of players in Georgia. It is. There's a lot of schools, a lot of players in Georgia, and everybody play multiple sports.
Yeah.
You know, it's almost like a requirement. You know.
I do have a question for you. I've heard you speak on this a lot, and you brought him up. One of your mentors. You said he was your coach in college as well. He was who were you referring to?
Jim Marcellus. He played for the Kansas City Chiefs.
Okay.
Yeah.
You brought him up in another interview that I watched, and you know, I feel like with new people in the league, coming up on this is year 2, right? So, what is like some advice you can give him for like some mentors? Like, what is something you should be looking for in a mentor? Like for the long haul.
Do you have somebody you talk to, mentor?
I mean, not like on the.
Well, I mean, you can even call back to NC State. Talk to somebody like that. Like a lot of times you come to the league, they say find a vet. A vet with his kids and family after the day. You know what I mean? That's not the first place I would go. It's just somebody who's been positive in your life to tell you to go right instead of left. My mentor, an example, if I had a bad game, he was like, "Well, Bell, this football.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen. Pick yourself up and get back out there, and rest, get some sleep, all this stuff. Just little things to keep you up because it's gonna be ebb and flow in the game. You're gonna have games where you didn't do your best. It's about picking yourself up and getting back out there. You know what I'm saying? You have all the talent in the world. Just those little things keep you going. I remember when I thought my girlfriend was going to break up with me, and people laugh at that. That's a big deal. That's a big, you know what I'm saying? It's to you,
Yeah.
it's a big deal.
Yeah.
And he was like, Bell, listen here. You know what I'm saying, son? Just put your head down, keep playing. She'll come around. If you don't, hey, that means she wasn't supposed to be there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But just keeping you going. Just keeping you going when you want to tap out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to talk about a little special teams. I don't know if did you play special
Yeah.
when you came out? Because I had the luxury. This guy was on punt team this year. And we talk about how some of the most stressful times that he's playing, and he played how many snaps on defense this year? I mean, crazy amount. But some of the most stressful times were on special teams.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, punt, every time we converted a third down, I look right at this guy, and I'm just like, it is the most game-changing play that you could be a part of. Like a block punt, especially when Danny Smith is your coach, is
It's
like
electric.
it's a nightmare. You just don't want it to happen. Like any snap on defense, I'm out there, I'm super comfortable. But I mean, I got obviously more comfortable. We had a great group the whole year, so we got comfortable together. But I mean, teams it's a one-play possession, and I mean, it could change a game like that.
What was your experience on special teams? I'm curious on this.
In the Georgia here,
Here in the league.
I played probably a couple of games. Oh no, let me give you this. My first game, we were playing Atlanta Falcons, and I'm at the time like 250, and we're running down on kickoff. This one we had the real kickoff.
Oh my gosh, real kickoff. You were running.
And yeah, every level I played, I got knocked out on kickoff. And so I'm running, and the DBs, the Shea Towns and the other DBs run, and I'm sitting here like, oh man, I'm just as fast as they are. And I just stepped it up, bam, hit the wedge, and I just had the crazy legs. I blacked out. I knocked the guy who I hit, and I jumped up, and I was like, and the Shea came over, he's like, stay down. I was like, man, I'm okay. I knew this was going to happen. And I go to the sideline, and I remember Coach Cowher telling this to a player on NFL Greatest Films, and he came over there and pulled that mess on me like, welcome to the NFL. I was like, man, get out my face, man. They had the doctor come over, and, he was like, say the month of the year backwards. I said, I couldn't do that sober. I said, what are you talking about? I said, give me a play. Just tell me what I supposed, give me a play. Cross inside 5. Okay, I know what I'm doing. Okay, I'm good. And then I went on and had 2 sacks, 7 to 9 tackles.
Wow.
Against Michael Vick.
So you were a wedge buster. Were you a wedge buster? Like when you went, when you know?
Yeah. It was, man. Was I? Yeah, I was as the kids say, a crash out. It's just like when I got 10 yards to that wedge, it's like, F it, boom.
Certified crash out right there, man.
I mean, it was crazy.
That's great.
So, like, talk about the game, man. You talk about the wedge. A lot of people don't understand the difference between now special teams and then special teams, right? Because the wedge back then, like, you were going in there basically on a suicide mission. Like, it's crazy. But, like, talk about the difference in special teams in comparison on just the playbook, the style, the aggression, right? Because special teams is the killer type of.
Oh, it was crazy. It was like kamikaze pilots, man. It was, there were always somebody on that team looking to knock you out. And at that time, it was just what it was. Like I mean, we played Minnesota. There was a guy who was just legendary for knocking guys out, ear-holding guys. You know what I mean? And that just was it. You had to know who you were blocking and everything. I got to the point where I figured out if I run like this, it don't hurt as bad versus standing up straight. You know what I mean? You had to figure it out.
Christian,
I'm running down there, and my head's on the swivel.
I know we can't be ear-hold like in this day and age. Thank God. But I still run down. I'm like, because I'm like, somebody's gonna do something.
You got to keep your antennas up.
You got to see this guy when he makes a tackle.
I'm fired up. Hey, Bill,
He goes crazy.
I don't know if you heard me back there. I said the best tackles for me are when they're running out of bounds, and I get oh, that's mine.
Yeah.
That.
Yeah, absolutely.
Crazy.
When you make a tackle on teams, I don't think people really, understand how hard that is. Like,
yeah, it is hard.
You tackle on the best of the world in open space.
Yeah.
And I love when, some of my friends will be like, oh, you look dumb out there. I'm like,
yeah, you get out there. Yeah, man, it's wild. It's different, man. Just like I know, if you're running and nobody touch you, it's coming.
This dude like tackles people. I don't even know how to explain it. Like, just square all the time, like squared up. Doesn't even never leaves his feet. Just kind of like squared up, hits him, and then just off him. Like it's kind of incredible. I don't know how the hell you do that.
I really think it's from wrestling. Just
Dude,
the balance and the leverage that you learn from wrestling.
Crazy.
He doesn't leave his feet. Like he just like hits people head right on.
See? But he's kind of old school how he plays. Like, I've played against him, so I can say that. Like, he's definitely, he's an old school type of player. There ain't nothing stopping him or slowing him down. Like, he's making the play.
Yeah, I remember the story. Payton was talking some crazy stuff to Trey when NC State played Pitt. We won't say what he told him.
I'll say it. I don't mind.
I don't even know what it meant, though.
You don't remember.
I don't even remember saying it.
I remember. Let me tell you why I remember. We were losing bad, right? Bad. And he makes a tackle on me. I run a bubble. I didn't realize he was as fast as he is because most linebackers are not that fast, but he's fast. I get up. I'm like, that was a good tackle. I messed up the play, something like that. And all I hear is, hey, man, look at him, gator face.
Dude,
I look back. I said, oh, that's crazy.
that's a good,
hey, man.
That's a good
When
diss.
bulls are flying, man, you say anything. I mean, this is what it is,
We cheering. We got some Penn State fans out here.
Tyler Warren.
Where'd he go? The Colts.
Going to the Colts.
He's a dog.
He's a problem.
He's a dog.
He's a problem.
Who do you think we're taking at 21, Christian?
Oh my goodness, I don't know. He's so many people who think we know. I don't think they know yet. Do you think they know yet? No chance.
How can you? I mean, if you think they might get drafted, then you got to go to somebody else, right?
Yeah, I guess. I mean,
There's been a ton of linemen,
Dude,
offensive
I
and
say-
defense. Like on these drafts, a lot of linemen. Like,
Really?
yeah, they said this is a really good draft for that.
I feel like everybody has seen how the Eagles have built their team. I don't know if you guys can agree. I mean, they are built interior D-line, O-line, and out. Now,
They got a
granted, have
Georgia
unreal
squad.
skill positions everywhere, but still, like, they are some. The Philadelphia Eagles, you know, they were dominant on the interior and offensive line.
Yeah.
It was.
And that's the thing, man. You guys play so long. 18 games is a lot of games plus playoffs, bro. Like going from college, you going from 13, as we just talked about before, to now 18 to 20 something, right? Talk about the difference between being injured and playing hurt. Because a lot of people think that they're injured, right? In reality, you could play through that. Like, for example, you probably had a concussion, but you got back in the game.
Yeah, well, man, if you didn't get a concussion, you weren't playing hard enough when I played. That's what it is. I'm just saying.
Let's go, dude.
I'm just saying, like my son.
Football I grew up
My son was like, Dad. I was like, son, that's part of the game, buddy. It's gonna happen. If you hitting hard enough, you're gonna get whiplash. You know, but like I said in the beginning, got to take care of your body. Like people don't creatine help people. I used to take creatine, man. I used to light people up. I didn't get concussion when I took creatine. Staying hydrated. I'm serious, man. It's like people don't get hyperbaric chamber. When you get those things, man, you have to do that. This is a rough sport still, but yeah, it's crazy.
That's the best thing I've ever heard.
I'm serious, man. Now, I'm gonna I'll tell you what. I remember hitting a guy so hard, I thought my arm came off. So I hit him, and I had several types of concussions. You have the one you go blind. You have the one where your body up top go paralyzed. You go, you know. I'm just saying. And then I hit a guy so hard, my arm got trapped behind my head. And I thought I lost. I was like, and I was dazed. I was like, hey, I told one of the DBs to say, help me find my arm. Help me find my arm. Because I figured, I said, if I can get it on ice, they can put it back on.
Oh, you were lost.
Bro, you ever
Hey, I'm
hit
serious.
somebody so hard that you think
I'm
you
not
lost
even
a
joking.
limb? That's crazy.
And like when you get a concussion, like guys, when I play, when you got a concussion, the first thing you know, you grab your leg. Because you can't stand up anyway, but you know you don't want to get taken out. And somebody, because you lose that spot, it's hard to get back, especially if the next player up balls out. So you grab your leg, like, because I can't walk, and then you go sober up on the sideline.
That's crazy. That's absolutely absurd.
I mean, yeah.
I'm just like a loss for words because these are like true stories.
Yeah, like
It's
you,
crazy.
like you can't even think like that in the buildings these days.
No,
Like,
but like the helmets back then were nothing what they are now as well. Like
it's
you were,
fiberglass.
that's what I'm saying. You were playing with.
Yeah.
And now,
yeah, they
now
come in and put these like little caps on our head, and the pads are custom.
Guardian caps.
That supposedly like decreased the concussion by like 50%.
Actually, that's-
in training camp, which
I will say this too, like that's something back then. There weren't a lot of different helmets, but I noticed when I was trying to find the pictures, like for the painting, your rookie year you had like a different helmet, and then
Yeah.
you switched to the Revo Speed.
Yeah,
so
it
was that because of concussions?
It looks
or
huge. I was like, man, I gotta get me another helmet. It wasn't serving its purpose anyway, you know. So
I don't think anything was going to serve us and how you hit.
yeah, man.
What does life post football look for you? Like how's the transition been?
At first it was a little rocky. You know, anything that you love and you can't do it anymore. So it's good to have good people around you. I have 4 kids, 4 boys. They're my wife, and the kids pretty much kept me up. I love kids. So my kids are good kids, which I worry about because they, good kids. So, but so I get opportunity. I spent so much time with them. I tried coaching one time. I never saw my kids. I was like, I'm not doing this. But I had opportunity to coach two years with my oldest son, with Brandon Jacobs, Erno Harrison, Brandon Jacobs. We had like a little all-star team, man.
Wow,
and,
that's a crazy team.
So I got that opportunity, and it was great. But my son transferred over to another high school, and that was pretty much it. Now I drive my other boys around soccer.
Okay. Wow. I love it. Payton, what does your first off season look like? I know you were in Raleigh. You got married.
Congratulations.
Shout out to Lila.
Yeah, shout out Lila.
Hi, Lila.
Where's the wifey at?
You got married this off season, but what has your first NFL off season been like? What have you been up to? You went back to Raleigh where, You're a legend in Raleigh. I went down there.
Not like you in Pittsburgh,
Payton's a
though.
legend down in Raleigh. Jersey retired. But no, seriously, what's it been like for you?
No, it was awesome. It was the first time like I was able just to train for 3-4 months straight without having spring ball just randomly in the middle of a training period, and just honestly to, kind of do my own program and cater it to what I needed, and it was awesome. I mean, I would work out in the morning, work out in the afternoon, then come home, and me and Lila would go eat dinner, and literally like the off season's so long. At one point, I was like, all right, like
You're ready.
yeah, like can we go back?
So you got back, and I kind of asked Zach and Beanie like how they felt, coming back into the building after finishing a year. It's just like you get back in and you know everybody. It's like a comfort factor. How do you think that plays into like what we're about to see on the field for year 2?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot that goes into it. Like last year was just the whole year so much. Like when you get to rookie mini camp, you don't know anyone, and then you meet the rookies the weekend, and then the very next day, here come the vets. So you got to meet everybody else again, and it's just you're learning the playbook on the fly. Like coming in, not knowing everybody. Obviously, the team's different, but just knowing the defense, knowing people around me, and stuff like he said, like knowing how to practice in the NFL. Like when you come in, like that's things that you worry about. Like I didn't want to run into rust last year. Like you don't know what's going to happen. It's stuff like that you worry about. Now that obviously I'm not a vet, but like now that I'm 1 year in, going into my second year, just so much more comfortable all around.
Yeah, I know you guys definitely treated rookies a little different than what's going on now. So how was the rookie hazing? When you were a vet and you were in, or did you get rookie hazing?
It wasn't bad. I had a good group of guys. I had Joy, JG, Potsy, Clark. Yeah, we were good. I think the challenge with me is driving in the snow. I'm from the South.
Oh, yeah.
So I had to get breakfast, every Friday. And so if they wanted to be buttholes about it, they would get different orders around the city, which I didn't know how to get around in the snow. So I remember the first after the first one, I didn't bring breakfast like the next day. I was like, I'm supposed to do that every Friday? They're like, oh man, all this stuff. And it was on my dime. So, we had a rookie party where I had to get the limos and pay for a meal, which most of them didn't eat. And then I had to buy, Louis the 13th? It's like, about like $4,000 for the bottle now.
Oh, yeah.
Back then it was $3,500. So, so.
You had to buy the bottles for every day?
Yeah.
It's kind of messed up.
I remember Justin Kopekis. Me and Justin came in with me. He was linebacker out of Penn State. And Justin was like, KB, you think they're really going to make us pay? I said, yeah, man, they are. Bro, you really think so? I said, Justin, they are.
Oh, yeah.
So the challenge, it was just the snow. Yeah.
Well, the rookie hazing, that's calmed down a little. We made this guy sing a song in training.
Yeah, we did that.
He did decent, I'm not going to lie. Wasn't the best I seen. Wasn't the worst I seen. You did good. You brought energy. I appreciate it.
What did you sing?
Well, like if you just go up there and lollygag, they're gonna make you do it again.
Yes.
So like I went up there and tried to get into it, but I don't got a good voice, So
I did Nilly Vanilli.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
What did I did Ain't No Mountain High Enough.
Yeah, you sung Ain't No Mountain High Enough, Marvin Gaye, a generic song. I love it. That's my karaoke song too. But I appreciate it. It was good energy. But boys, I appreciate you guys coming on. We're gonna wrap this up. I know it seemed like probably 10 minutes. We could shoot this shit up here for an hours. I appreciate you guys. Let's get you guys a sign. Let's give it up for K. Bell and Payton Wilson, everybody.